Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Empowered Hour. It's your girl Athena and
Renata, how are you?
girl, I'm sleepy. How you doing?
Ah, tis the season.
Yeah, yeah. I'm starting to yeah. Oh Lord Jesus. But I mean, God is good. We're still here. We're still able to breathe. We're still able to think about it. We're still able to have the ability to be tired. So I guess that's the
Look
praise
at you.
for it.
Way to rephrase it. Good job.
Yeah, because I learned from the master therapist herself, aka Renata, and then also our special guest has influenced that as well because she has helped refuel my purpose. And I think being around good positive people makes you good and positive. So, but yes, it's exciting, exciting.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we might as well just go ahead and bring her on in. See how
Well,
she
but
doing.
first, we got to talk about how to tune in too. So, the same thing every week because I don't remember how to tell people. So, uh, we're going to pause for 1 second for the calls.
Okay.
If you'd like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in to JQLM Radio, this is what you would share. You can tune in live by downloading the JQLM Radio app on your Apple or Android devices. You can also listen live via Alexa, the TuneIn app, the Simple Radio app, and a host of other platforms of which you can find on our website, where you can also listen live at egoentertainmentnet.com/JQLM radio. Or just visit egoentertainmentnet.com and click the button right there on the home page. You can also connect with us via our website or social media at JQLM Radio. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Additionally, you can email us at jqlmradio@gmail.com. Find us under our parent company, Ego Entertainment Network, on social media at EGOENTNET. That's Ego Ent Net. You can also follow us on LinkedIn at Ego Entertainment Network. And last but not least, make sure you like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, Ego TV Network.
See, I forget all about all that stuff. I'm glad I don't have to remember it. I'm so glad. Now let's bring in the one, the only, Wynesia Jackson. I wish we need to get some sound effects for real. Like I need to write somebody say I need a button to push for my sound effects.
It's like when y'all know Tabitha Brown, when her
Mhm.
daughter was doing those shows, and they'd be like, introducing Tabitha. And
Yes, I need to do that. I need to do that. I definitely need to get that going.
I support it.
So how you doing, Miss Jackson?
I'm with y'all. I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Well,
But
you
as
said
you
you're booked
said,
and
it's
busy.
important.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying it's just so important in the midst of being tired that you're grateful at the same time. But I would look forward to a nice nap.
What are those? I don't
As
know
they
what
say,
those are.
just to rest your eyes just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what naps are.
No, no
Maybe somebody
naps.
can teach me.
I will say, as a kid, I was the kid that did not like naps. And so I
Yeah.
appreciate them so much more now as an adult. So,
And
And as
you
I
take
was
them so
telling
quick.
y'all, huh?
Oh, I was just telling on Renata. Telling she takes a nap so quick she can literally be sleeping 10 seconds if you let her. I don't
Oh
know how to do
wow.
that. I don't know
No,
how to
I
do that.
can't do it either.
that's because I
Renata,
Like
be
I
you
said,
really
can.
I can't
tired.
schedule a nap.
If I schedule it, it doesn't happen. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
because when I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap in between clients, it doesn't happen. I fall
Doesn't
asleep
happen.
like 5 minutes before I need to get up. So
Mm, that's a power nap.
Yeah, that's a frustrating nap. That's what that is. But
Yeah.
but I know, Anissa, we had to bring you back because you did such an amazing job last week. Um, and so just to let the people who didn't get to watch last week or listen last week, they can go back and listen. But can you give them another introduction of who you are, real quick?
Yes, my name is Wynesia Jackson, and I really feel called, since we're talking about purpose, to come alongside people in their growth in their relationship with God. And one way that I am learning to do that, I'll say that I'm learning to do that, is to really challenge people to walk in their purpose. And so I have a ministry called Christ Like Life Ministries. We have done a lot of things that are free. So I'll lead a Bible study and a small group Bible study that may last 5 weeks, 10 weeks, or I'll do a special event. Not too long ago, I partnered up with some ladies and we talked about God's love, again, free. But I also speak, and I've written a book called Refueling Your Faith, Daily Encouragement for a Spirit-Filled Life, which walks you through the fruit of the Spirit. And feel called to create additional resources too, to just come alongside people as they are just trying to live in a way that honors God. I have a workshop coming up, which is why I'm so excited about the opportunity to speak to your audience. That will happen in June. Well, we'll just do a workshop about being intentional, being strategic about the assignments God has given us in the particular season that we're in. So in June, whatever the assignments are, let's identify them, and then be intentional about how we incorporate those action steps in our daily life. So just all things ministry and trying to draw people closer to God and to be used by him to impact the lives of others.
Oh, I need to be at that workshop. I will
Yes, ma'am.
say.
June.
So I am actually reading your book now, and
Oh.
yeah. So here's the problem: I buy a lot of books and then read them
Mhm.
all at the same time. So,
Mm.
so I am
Well,
reading
good.
right now, and it's interesting. Yeah, but I will say, Juanisa, your book is very convicting in a good way. Um, just because fruits of the spirit, those are hard. I know they're supposed
It
to be.
is.
Those are hard. And I years ago, I was like, Lord, help me with all of them at the same time, which was not a smart
No.
prayer. Was not a smart prayer. Only prayed that one time, but
Be careful
The
what you pray
wonderful
for.
thing the wonderful thing about our walk with God is that it's not like this uh, destination, in the sense that we're going to get it all in one sitting, right? It's a journey. And so God knows the pace, and God knows the areas in which he wants you to grow. And really, it is taking the time to listen and to be pliable to what he wants to do in your life in that season. So there have been times when I'm very clear that God is trying to expand my ability to love others. And then there's been times in my life when it's clear that God in various ways is trying to had helped me to get to a place where I could have joy in spite of circumstances. So what I love about walking with God is that he knows what to begin tapping on your shoulder about. And all you really need to do is to have the time and the willingness to bend and to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you're not, there's no way you can attack all of those gifts. I mean, all of those fruit at one time. But as you surrender in various ways where he's tapping on you, um it makes it more manageable, right? And not so overwhelming. And that's what I find sometimes, even with mentoring people, that because our society is so, we want to accomplish, we want to knock it off our list, we want to be perfect. And that can sometimes get in the way of what God may be trying to do in his progressive cleaning of us, progressive pruning of us. And that's where I've gotten to the point where it is relaxing instead of overwhelming to walk with God. That it's not, I got to go be perfect. No, you just take, as he cleans you up and as you listen and as you listen to his direction, progressively you become. So don't be overwhelmed, Renata. Just take a little bit. One day you'll read the book. Look, I'm speaking it into existence. You'll read it this time and you'll get one thing from it, but you'll go back to it and you'll get something else. Just like the word of God, you read something one time and it speaks to you in a certain way, and then you read it another time and it uncovers or encourages you in another way. That's what I love about God, that he's real and he's living and he knows, how to tap into us.
I agree. I definitely feel like the lesson was, child, you don't even know what you're asking for.
Okay.
So I feel like he tested every last one of them fruits that day. And I was like, nope, we're not doing this again. No.
Yeah.
And
you've heard this.
You learn it and then you got to go back and relearn. Okay.
You've heard of many people tell you before. They've all said, be careful what you pray for because you just might get it. And you got it. So,
this was many years ago, though. This was many years ago before I went to this book.
Because I'm just saying, people always talking about, I want more patience. Okay. Don't ask for that, because that test and that testament is coming, because you said you want some more patience.
You wanted some more patience.
Like, listen, I'm not asking for that, Lord. I was just making a statement. Not asking for more patience. So, no, that was just an open-ended statement. That was not even a question. That was none of that. So that's not to be confused at all. I'm just saying, I'm good.
So, Wynesia, what made you pick Fruits of the Spirit as your first book?
Well, girl, I had all kinds of ideas. Like, I was overrun with all these ideas on what to do my first book on. And one thing that when I'm reading scripture, I really want to define terms, because I think when you define the terms, then the lesson is more real to you. So, for example, the fruit of the Spirit was one of them, where he gave you all of those things. Well, what does that mean, God? And how do I then put that into practice? Another one is, even before, in Galatians, when it talks about the fruit of the Spirit, it talks about the fruit of the flesh, and it gives all these examples. So I'm just a person who sees terms and wants to define them so that I know better how to communicate as a Christian communicator, but also for myself. Okay, if it says the fruit of the flesh is wrath, well, what does that mean? And what does that look like in my life so that I can present there or pray about that? So I like to just define terms. So that was on a list among many other topics about how do I break that down? I've always wanted to break down what is love, what is peace, what is patience, and I had never done it. So that was an opportunity to write a book about it. Well, I had connected with the lady that I'd gone to church with when I was in Louisville. She's a writing coach. And because I was just feeling like I wasn't progressing with moving forward and writing a book, I connected with her and invested in her to help me to narrow down what I would focus on. And she was like, why don't you use the title Refuel Your Faith? Because that was my YouTube channel title. And for some reason, it just seemed to click Okay, refuel your faith. Well, let's refuel it by talking about fruit of the spirit. And it's a way for me to define these terms so that when I'm in conversation with people, mentoring, I'll have more information about it. So that's kind of how it just kind of came together.
Okay. I like it. I can relate. I'm sure Athena can too with trying to write a book and thinking of 1,006 things.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that is, you have so many ideas, but you can't write everything. And you have to make it for people to come away with something. There has to be a focus.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
So you ladies want to write a book? Well, y'all have written several books.
We've written books. We've written workbooks. We haven't wrote a book. Not that they're not books, but we just wrote workbooks. But I think
Okay.
I can't speak for Athena. I know for me, I feel like it's some of the topics that we pick, there's no one way to do it. So it's easier to say, here are some prompts, here is a guide, and then do what makes the most sense for you.
Okay.
Versus, but yours is a workbook too. I would classify it's like a journal workbook. But at some point, maybe one day down, many years from now, we'll write a book.
And I tell you what, it's a labor of love to, I mean, most of us have jobs. So you're, after you're working, you're trying to come up with words that make sense to others. I mean, it was something. Do you hear me? It's something to do.
I mean, I definitely have thought about, before making a book of some sort or doing something, to tell my story in a different way. Or maybe even try to do like a loosely based off of my life story type of thing. But it definitely will be later in life, like when I get to a point of, actually putting words or figuring out what I want it to look like and then kind of going from there. I probably will start putting maybe a page or two down a year. Maybe eventually it'll turn into a whole book or something. So, because I mean, my story's not that interesting, but it can be to somebody else. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm sure somebody would like to know more, or maybe eventually when we get on the bestseller list or something, or Empowered Living gets on the national map as being the go-to
Yes.
therapy practice, then people want to know more, and then that's a good time to launch the book. So,
Yeah.
speaking into existence.
And I love what you're saying in that when we take it back to purpose, that I believe last week we talked about there is not just one. I kind of like to use the word assignment in some ways, because again, as believers, I believe that we do have one universal purpose, but I think that it comes out in various assignments in different seasons. And that oftentimes when we talk about those, and I'll use purpose because that's what most people say, purpose, that we feel like we have to have it. There's just one. And so we're just, it's over after we do this, or, what I'm saying? There's this ultimate thing where what you just said is, I'll do this, then I'll do this, and then that could lead to this. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like all of life has meaning and purpose. And so don't feel like you're a failure because you're not reaching this right now. Maybe it is something you're learning in this season of your life that will contribute to what God has placed on your heart to do, but it's a not yet. You know what I'm saying? So look at life as, those who are listening, look at life as so many opportunities to learn and to have lessons that build and create and will contribute to another assignment that you will have. So just be excited about right now, not, oh, I'm gonna just hold off and I'm just gonna white knuckle it until I get to this point. No, embrace right now.
Look at that.
And conviction again. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, y'all.
Okay.
But do y'all know what I mean? Like when you're constantly looking to the next, and I'm saying this out of experience, when you're constantly looking at the next, you really don't get to absorb all that could happen now. And that right now feeds into that to come,
Mm.
So opening your eyes right now. Okay, Lord, right now, what would you have for me? And trusting that the things that I do now, as I cut my teeth, as I learn this lesson, as I experience this thing, God can use all of that, even the things that feel uncomfortable, like, Lord, why do I have to walk through this? It's uncomfortable. Why did you allow this? We don't get to have the big picture, but God does, and he can use even the most uncomfortable things to bring great purpose, when we overcome, or as we're overcoming, if we have the mindset to be open to that.
Listen, I feel like we should take a break as we gather ourselves. What you think of that?
Yeah, like I said, conviction over here. Can't talk. So I need to stew in my conviction for a few moments. So we'll take what, a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back with more purpose with Wynesia. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gents, mark your calendars for the party of the year. It's the second annual National Re-Up Experience, hosted by the one and only comedian D.L. Marshall in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, on April 5th and 6th. Get ready for the Re-Up Brunch and more, with an all-white theme that's going to be the talk of the town. Then let loose at the all-white party. Trust us, you don't want to miss this. But wait, there's more. Roll into stitches at the Re-Up Comedy Show, headlined by the hilarious Robert Sweaty Hands Day, featuring the Gentleman of Comedy and the one and only Ms. Robinson. Strut down the black carpet at the award show, catch live performances, and experience a night you won't forget. The theme this year is Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Because of the Re-Up Experience, we re-up to stay up. Hurry, don't miss out on the fun. Get your tickets now at reupexperience.com. That's reupexperience.com. It's gonna be lit. We re-up to stay up, baby. Get your tickets before they're gone. Music Into the Night by Price Canal on pixabay.com. Sponsored by Ego Entertainment Network and Iconic Speakers Network.
All right, so we are back with more of the Empowered Hour, guys. I guess I'm still feeling some kind of way, but I know I need to get myself together, so I'm not gonna dwell on it. I'm not gonna dwell on it at all. But it's definitely,
So let
it's
me ask
always,
you this.
what's up?
Oh, so have you all been feeling, and you don't have to be uber transparent, but has that been a feeling for you all? Obviously, in this season when y'all are doing so much, what does that mean?
I know for me, I think in this season of wanting to. I don't do as much as I used to, but I'm trying to get back to doing what I should do, because for a
Mhm.
while I was doing 50,000 things. I was doing too much, and then
Mm.
the transition from being caregiver to not being a caregiver
Mhm.
anymore, for the last, I would say probably for the last 3 years, I was in a weird spiral of learning how to live my life differently now that things changed, and so I
Mm.
got kind of lazy and thinking, you haven't done as much as you used to do, and how did I find time to do that, and blah 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 blah. So then now
Mhm.
this year I'm like, okay, I've got to get back to doing what I need to do,
Mhm.
and putting everything in perspective of what I need to do. And I think for me, I feel like I'm behind because I spent so many years trying to balance everything, being a low key superwoman. And then I'm not
Mhm.
trying to get back to her, but I am trying to get back to where I'm being a productive person in my in the things I'm trying to accomplish, because
Mhm.
I want to accomplish a few things, but you know, some of it may be God telling me you're doing too much again, or
Mhm.
or me, I'm trying to make sure that I don't get back to superwoman status, but I get at least kind of to the sidekick of that. Like, I don't know, I'm just
Mhm.
trying to, I'm trying to navigate through that whole not being superwoman but still trying to be productive or be uh, a functioning member of the things that I need to do, because I
Mhm.
can't even act like I haven't been 100% into the things I need to do for empowered living, because I haven't been. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, Athena, you've got to get yourself back uh, into the swing of things and start to do things differently. So
Mhm.
I definitely don't want to do a lot, but I know that I can't just do nothing. So I'm in that
Right.
weird spot.
I understand.
What would
This.
I say? I would say I'm in an interesting season. I'm in a season where I feel like a lot of the things that I've been praying for years are kind of slowly coming to fruition.
Mm.
Um, on top of wanting to work smarter, not harder. I've worked
Mhm.
really hard for a very long time. And a question that I have been asked multiple times lately is, what does retirement look like for me? Not to say that I'm about to retire. I'm only
Mhm.
41. I have retired from working for other people, but so I did that at what, 32, 33, maybe 34. So just kind of in a space of what what will that look like and what am I working towards so that
Mhm.
these next chapters um, are more impactful and less stressful. Because at some point,
Mhm.
you don't want to have to keep working hard. You do want to work
Mhm.
smarter and enjoy the things that that really matter. Because I mean, at the end of the day, what really matters is not all the things that you've collected, but like the people that you got to spend time with and lives you got to impact and all that. So I want to make sure that, and it's not like I feel like I'm saying it like I'm about to die or something. There's nothing wrong, guys.
Right. You like to have meaning and you have to accomplish. Yeah.
Yes. So just with health stuff, I'm on this. Um, I've been getting a lot of health stuff taken care of, and a lot of the things are just things that what I keep hearing over and over again is you got to do better. You got to eat better. You need to sleep more. You need to drink more water. You need to move your body more. So finding balance and all that. So the thing that I tell people to do all the time, it's very, very apparent that I have to do that at this point in my life.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, I'm going to invite y'all again to my workshop in June, and all those that are listening, come to my workshop in June. If you go to Christ Like Life Ministries, cllministries.com, and join our mailing list, you'll be the first to find about the workshop in June around um, your purpose, around making sure that you can say, just like Jesus said, I have accomplished, I have glorified you on earth by accomplishing the things that you have given me to do. And we look at it holistically, not just your skills and abilities, but how are you answering the call or the assignment to care for your body, for your health and your wellness? How are you looking at developing and identifying the skills and gifts that God has given you, and how are you using them? How are you maximizing your relationships with others, as well as how are you feeding and putting the mask on yourself with your relationship with yourself and with God? So there are so many, to just be intentional and strategic. Obviously, just like the fruit of the spirit, we can't attack them all at one time. But if you could do different things, chart out something quarterly, chart out something weekly, chart out different things to help you accomplish or move forward in various areas, it will help you. And so that's the whole goal of this workshop, just to begin to whet your appetite and get you thinking about how to be more strategic in your life in those 4 areas. So please, cllministries.com. Get on our mailing list.
I feel like she just did therapy on us, Athena.
She did spiritual therapy on us real quick.
Mhm. I already had my therapy appointment this week. I'm just kidding.
I have, so I'm in therapist since mine stopped being a therapist now. So this should count, though, don't you think? I think this should count. This counts.
I mean, if you want to make this count, this can count.
In all reality, we all kind of go in circles until we figure out our purpose. And I know some of us get tired of going in circles quicker than others, but I think different areas of my life I found my purpose within that season. But this season is kind of different. I'm I'm living a little bit differently than I was before. And then, I'm in my 40s now, and I got a whole grandchild who expects too much out of me for me to be uh so young. But I definitely am trying to navigate some things. So thank you again for your wisdom. Guess I had to pass the collection plate real quick. What's your Cash App, your Venmo?
What is her cash at?
Yeah, Venmo, Zelle, what is everything? I guess I need to send you some money real quick. For real.
Oh my goodness. It's such a journey, such a journey. And Athena just acknowledging that, which I know that transition, you're from being a caregiver, and then the person you cared for is no longer here physically. There's a great deal of grief, and a part of your assignment is to grieve well. And in grieving well, you don't know how God could use, because you're human. You don't know how God can use, even when you embrace the assignment of grieving, how God could use the tools that you came up with to adjust your life like you're doing now. You're trying to wrestle through, what does my life look like now, when for so many years it's been to be a caregiver along with a mom, there's a mentor of mine whose husband passed away. And she said, what I tend to pray, they've been married almost 50 years before he passed. And she shared with me, and it's something I say to myself, Lord, this is what she says, and then you can fill in the blank what your life is. But she obviously is a widow. Lord, I've never been a widow before. Teach me how to be a widow. Teach me how to address the things that I didn't have to address in the past, because he took care of that. That's a learning process. And I think it applies to so much when we come into situations where you are, Lord, I was a caregiver. Teach me, Lord, how to live in this new space. I'm a grandma now. Teach me how to be a grandma. You know what I'm saying? And really being quiet. And the thing about God is that he hears us, and that progressively, as we cling to him, he will give us those next steps. He's not going to give you it's very rare that he gives you the full picture, but he'll give you that next step. And then you'll look back and you have so much wisdom as you have decided to follow his direction. You'll have so much wisdom then to share with someone else, that you never know how that could blossom into even another assignment. So I just encourage you. I know that it's difficult to try to wrestle through that. And I just want to name that and then encourage you in that area.
I appreciate that, because it's definitely stuff that I'm learning more and more to do every day, and I'm thankful that I don't have to be a caregiver, preferably anytime soon.
Right.
Again, because it's definitely not the life for the faint. It's not fun at all. So
I am
and
sure.
and just definitely getting into the season of life and trying to figure out what I am trying to accomplish. Um, is definitely eye opening, and that's why I said I think 2024 is going to be my new year. Is I
Yeah.
spent 3 years of literally going in circles, like,
Yeah.
it was a personal circle. It wasn't that
Yeah.
anybody else did it, And I don't
Right.
know if everybody knew that I was like struggling with that internally, but
Mhm.
it's just now this year I'm like I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this for another year of going in
Mhm.
circles. Like, what am I doing with myself? So
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm definitely growth in progress,
Absolutely.
growth.
Absolutely.
I tell you, being an adult.
Adulting ain't for the weak. As
Adulting is a
what is
trip.
the thing? Adulting is ghetto.
Yeah. Or the title of our workbook, Adulting is a Trip. Get it on
It's a trip. Yes, ma'am.
empowerliving.net. Go to our website and order yours today.
There you go.
It, it,
There you
it is
go.
it is a trip, but there are a lot of fun things about being an adult though too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we'll talk about some of those fun things because we've been super deep. So Wynesia, what was the last 3 songs that you listened to? And we won't judge.
The last 3 songs that I listen to. That's so hard because I'm a podcast person. But
Ah,
I'm usually listening to talk radio of
okay.
some sort.
So
But
what was the last talk radio then, if that's easier?
okay. The last talk radio I listened to was it's called Equipped with Chris Brooks. Which he just has these different, he'll pick a different topic around something within the Christian community and bring somebody on. So this last one I was listening to when I was coming home was a gentleman that was talking about gender and things of that nature. So that was the last one. And then I listened to, but a song that came up was CeCe Winans, The Goodness of God. But then a song, of course, you're on Instagram, and I think it's Mooney. What's her name? I'm horrible. I know all my old school, but I don't know these
Um,
young kids. But on
is
the
it Money
TikToks and
Long?
stuff, Money Long, is that her name? And she
Mm-hmm.
was singing something. So that was the last songs I've heard.
Okay. I think for kicks and giggles, what was the last song you listened to?
Well, let's see.
Ooh. Good at that.
You should be. No, let's see. Well, the last 3 songs, or just the last song in general. The song that I have been listening to a lot more than anything else. It usually gets me started or pumped in the morning. Is I think his name is Otis Kemp's Daily Bread song. Um,
Otis Kemp.
that's been my because it usually comes on Amazon, but here lately they've been skipping that song, so then I just play it in the car on my own. But that's been the song that's like my because it's kind of fast in the morning and kind of gets me moving. Uh, but I am a '90s R&B lover, so that whole playlist has been uh, deep embedded in me. So it was '90s R&B uncut versions of songs. So we'll just say
Okay.
that. So I tried to round it out with something gospel to get my mind back together because I'm not married. I'm not dating, not married. But if I was married, that '90s R&B would be top priority. But since I am a woman of singleness, I shall make sure
She
I
said, I
start.
shall.
Yeah, I shall stay in the begin with gospel, end with gospel, but that in between might be something else. So
You understand? It gets sketchy sometimes.
it does, They play, especially somebody playlist on the phone. I mean, on the on the show right now. That I know her playlist is
Oh,
different.
oh.
Uh,
You
but
got some ratchet music.
she likes everything. Her playlist be everywhere, all over the place. I'm like,
It
oh,
does. It
oh,
does.
okay.
It does. Keeps you on your toes, if
Well,
nothing else.
Renata, what's the last 3 songs you listened to?
Oh, okay. The last three was High C. That's one of the songs.
High C.
High C. It's a gospel song. If you heard it,
Okay.
you may not think it's a gospel song. And then I only listened to this song because I heard it in a short and was like, wait a minute, that's so and so. So I went down a rabbit hole. So Champagne Poetry, it's a Drake song, but I only listened to it because he sampled a Masego song that I like.
Okay.
And then what was the other one? I'm sure it probably was Big Crit. I'm sure.
Big Crit. Girl,
Yeah,
I'm
you
It's
won't
a
listen
horrible.
to
rapper.
I cannot keep up.
You won't
I
listen
can't
to
keep
them, so
it up.
don't even look them up. Don't look them up.
Good.
No, I was listening to something. I do like Breakfast Club,
Uh-huh.
and this girl, again, talk. But this girl was on there called Sexy Red. And I said, well, who is she? And what does she
Oh,
do,
you
honey?
went down
I
that
was
rabbit
like,
hole, Anissa.
Lord have mercy. What in the world?
Oh, Anissa.
Yeah, that's not the one you
When I
want to
went on
listen to.
YouTube and heard Sexy Red, then it you know how they'll show people in the
Yeah.
same genre. Then it was somebody else, and she was even more explicit than her. I can't even remember her name. I was like, these kids don't have a fighting chance.
Ooh, you went down a rabbit hole. Ooh. I
I
mean,
was like, ooh, the language.
she's not for everybody. We'll just say that. She is not for
No,
everybody.
no, she's
Hmm.
not. No,
I
she's
was
not.
just like, wow.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. Okay. So what was the last what was the last TV show, documentary, something that you watched? What was one of the last things that you watched?
I did watch the Freaknik came out
Oh,
yesterday.
Wynesia. That's why I love you.
Because I wanted to know. It's so crazy how y'all watch it, but it's not giving nothing away. But and it really wasn't as raunchy as people think that, I think that people thought it would be, but it did give the original history about these DC students that were actually going to colleges in Atlanta who didn't have enough money to go home, really. So they created their own spring break experience. And then it just kind of mushroomed into what people remember, where it was a little bit more violent and more sexually explicit than the former years. But it was a really good, just to hear the history. And because I went one year. Now clearly I wasn't the one jumping on top of the cars and doing all of that,
but you like, that was not me. I am not that documentary.
But I went with my cousins. I just took a road trip with them and was down there and saw all they was wild, honey, but it was an experience.
I bet. I'm
So we gonna see you.
Yeah, you're not gonna see me on top of the car dropping it and topping it like it's hot.
No, we might see you walking past the background or something. I'll be like, oh, that's what Sorry, Wynesia. I keep saying why. So sorry.
Are you okay?
So I
just watched it last night.
I had to stop because I was asked we was gonna watch it as a family. So I'm gonna finish watching it with my family. Okay. Well, I won't disclose who the family members are, but I have some family members that attended. So to tease them, when I found out about the documentary, I sent a text and was like, "Are y'all gonna be in this? Because I need to know." So
I
Well, that
mean,
is hilarious.
I don't think of that as a family documentary to watch, but I guess that's just, that's your family dynamic. Like, we about to pull up and watch Freaknik together as a family, all generations together, about to watch Freaknik. Yeah,
Well, the boys
y'all,
won't
yeah.
be there. We will watch whatever together. I can say that we do watch a lot of stuff that seems like, why are y'all watching this? Or like we'll watch a horror film on Christmas. Like we be watching random stuff, but I love
Okay.
a good documentary. So I was very excited when that came out. So you
When it
watched
came
the
out.
Freaky documentary, okay?
I did. I did last night.
Have you
Ooh,
watched the
wee.
Nickelodeon one yet, or are you going to watch that one?
The Nickelodeon, there's a Nickelodeon documentary?
There is. It's about all the abuse and stuff that was going on with
Oh,
the
no.
children that were working for Nickelodeon. Yeah.
I did not know about that. No.
Yeah.
I
So
may. Mm.
it's what is it called? I think it's I forget what it's
Well,
called. I'll have to look it
well,
up and
look
I'll
it
text
up.
you.
Yeah, look it up and so we can find out that information because we gotta take a commercial break real quick. But
Okay.
look it up while we're on commercial break and see if you can find that real quick. Because I've heard about it, but I didn't know what it was called or what platform it's on. So that'll
Yeah.
be some good information. So we'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Gallery Event Center. My name is Richard, and we're located on the north side of Indianapolis in the Castleton area. We can be reached at 317-534-6399, or you can visit us at our website at www.thegalleryeventcenter.com. Also on Instagram at The Gallery Event Center. We specialize in birthdays, baby showers, weddings, and even family get-togethers. So come see us and book your event today.
Hey there, trendsetters and go-getters. Ever dreamt of gracing the cover of the hottest bi-monthly print and digital interactive magazine? Well, Ego Magazine is your ticket to the spotlight. From beauty and fashion to entertainment, relationships, business, and beyond, Ego covers it all. And guess what? We're looking for the next big stars to feature. Want to shine on the cover, share your celebrity story, or drop some business wisdom? Apply now at egoentertainmentnet.com to be featured. Thousands across the nation could be reading about you. Subscribe for free now at egoentertainmentnet.com. Ego Magazine, where dreams become headlines. We can't wait to put you in the spotlight. Music, Minutes by Jacob Sapp on pixabay.com.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Renata, did you find it?
I did. I did.
Okay.
So the name of it is called Quiet on the Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV. Um,
Hmm.
it's on ID. Was it just the ID channel? But I watched it on Discovery Plus. So it's a docuseries. It's a 4-part docuseries. I attempted to watch it the other night, unsuccessfully. I fell asleep. All 3 episodes that I watched.
So you got to go back and watch them. Gotcha.
Well, is it on a streaming
Yes,
service?
I fell asleep halfway through. Yes, so Discovery Plus is the streaming service. But if you have the ID channel, it's
Oh,
on there.
got you.
So like, let's see. I got Philo, so it should be on there, so I can go on there and look. And you said it's called Behind the Scene. No,
It's called Quiet on the Set: The
Quiet on
Dark
the
Side
Set.
of
That's what it was. Okay.
TV. Mhm.
Let me look that up real quick. Okay, because listen, I've heard different people talk about it. Of course, everybody's always talking about Orlando and his outland. How he's been coming out here lately, dropping little things about his previous history of abuse and how he was treated
Mm-hmm.
and who he's slept with and who he hasn't, etc. Or made love to. But he's always so high, so nobody really pays him attention. But the more that he keeps talking, the more stuff keeps coming out that's sounding to be true. So, um, I did find it on Philo that quick. So yep, I'm gonna put it on my playlist. Thanks for that information.
No problem. My pleasure. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
um, what would you say is your favorite Bible verse or Bible story or Bible character?
Mm. Um.
There's so many. There's so
Oh
many.
gosh, and it's so seasonal. I guess what have I been saying to myself in this season is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:16. I believe it's Philippians 4:16. But that's the scripture that comes to mind for me in this season. I always the figures, the biblical figures, I don't know. There's so many, there's things that I like about different ones. I don't know that I have a favorite one right now.
Okay.
But yeah. No.
Like you said, different seasons have different Bible verses that ring clear and stand out, and resonate, or give you that comfort that you're looking
Mhm.
for. So yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I don't know
And
you
then
about to ask me. Holy
he
Spirit.
can provide all of our needs. And I've grown. That's another one in this season because you sometimes, what my mistake sometimes is seeing when God will supply all your needs. Of course, it's in context of with scripture, but they're talking about finances. But as I've lived through life, all of your needs are your emotional needs, your friendship needs. And I say that not that God is my only friend, but that when, for example, we talked about transitions in relationships, right? Last time we were on here. But God, when you're open, he can supply new friends. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can provide
Mhm.
new opportunities. Everything you need, he's able to supply. And it may not be this supernatural thing, but are you open to how he wants to meet that need through in different ways, and so that is one that comes to mind even now too, remembering that about his character.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think my last question, because I know we're running close to the end, if you weren't a minister and an entrepreneur, what would you be? What would be
I
a
would,
different career path?
um
I'd be a stripper. No, I'm just kidding.
you better make that money.
Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
Ah.
um,
um was you about to say something, Athena? What?
I
He's
mean,
gonna add a little caveat, only in certain clubs.
only I would be that the top billing one. You know, the one that don't have to do nothing strange for no change. I'd be the
No
one.
change. You be the escort girl.
Yeah, I'd be the
You
top
just show up
dog
for the
type bill.
parties.
Yes, yes. And of course that'd be a former life because I that one life where I was physically fit and I could, fight people if I needed to. That life that she would have been a stripper, but this pleasantly plump lover type person that I am now probably wouldn't do well as a stripper. So that's
Couldn't
not
do
a
well.
profession. That's not a profession I would seek now, but
I think
Thanks for the
sometimes maybe
clarity.
I would be a therapist because
Okay.
before I moved into ministry, I thought I was going to doing counseling. I wanted to go into counseling psychology, and so I've always just something where you're still dealing with people, I guess. There was
Mm-hmm.
a time when I wanted to be an anthropologist and travel to different countries and learn about people and how they do things. So that's an interest of mine.
Okay.
Maybe that was a weird answer, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that was a weird answer?
Because I went off on anthropology and
It's okay. You might have been a therapist when you wasn't being an anthropologist.
maybe that's it. Okay, I don't know.
I mean, you could do it. I mean, of course, my grandson, he thinks he can be everything at once.
Right.
He wants to be a firefighter, police officer, anesthesiologist, and I'm like, you
Oh
can't be all of
wow.
those.
Hey.
But now he's transitioned to boxer / basketball star. So
I love it.
he's about to be 12 things at once. I don't know how he's going to do it, but
I love it.
That is funny.
What would you all be, Renata?
I would
You
be a
therapist?
historian. I would write documentaries or something like that. It would be something with history. Or something that
outside of
involves
say what?
or something that involved a lot of traveling.
Oh yeah, well. I forgot about my trap. Yeah, that might be a good one too. A travel agent to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, my lifelong for real dream was to be a traveling food critic. I wanted to go to other countries and eat, and people look at me, like, oh, she's nobody. I'm gonna treat her like trash, and then I'd be like, oh, my food blog says your customer service is trash. So like that was always my thing before it became like a social media thing to do. Like I always wanted to be a food critic, a traveling food critic, go places, kind of be a Keith Lee before.
That's what I was about to say. You was gonna be Keith Lee.
Yeah, that was my thing. I because I love food. I love food, not just because I want to eat my pain or nothing like that. I really like the taste of good food, and I love trying new food. I love trying food from other countries. I love, even though it doesn't always agree with me, but I still like to go and eat. Like I want authentic food when I go places. I don't want to get some commercialized food. So that was always my thing I've always wanted to do. I don't know why I never did it. And plus I love to travel, so it would have coupled both the things I like to do, eat and travel. So if I could have figured out how to get paid for it a long time ago to where I'd be seasoned right now, because right now everybody's doing it, and and so many people are muddying the waters to where it's not even true food critic etiquette anymore. So so I definitely, that was something I always wanted to do decades ago, but missed that boat, unfortunately. I mean, I still could do it now, but I just
not in the way that you had initially envisioned.
Yeah, not in that original way. Yeah, I definitely want somebody to pay me to go eat. That would still be
okay.
Pay me to go eat. Pay me to tell you what I think. So
about your food.
But
And I will say, from traveling with Athena, we have went on hunts to try certain foods specific to that place.
Yeah,
there it is.
We're
twins in that way. We're twins in that way. I agree. Well,
sounds like we got to find a trip to go on just to go eat. I'm all down for it.
I do not want to go to a new place and go to a chain restaurant. Do not.
Heck no. No, I don't do that when I go out of town in the States. So I'm definitely not going to do that when I go someplace else. Mm-hmm. Now, there's only one exception, and I'll make this super quick because we got to get ready to go. But one exception was Jamaica, because we wanted to try, because everybody says how KFC was in Jamaica. That was the only time I went to something. But, we didn't get there because it was too crowded. But anyway. Was it Grenada? One of them places.
It was Grenada. It was too crowded. The KFC in Jamaica was overpriced.
Yeah, super overpriced. Yes, so that's what it was. But anyway, Wynesia, great having you again. We're gonna have you again, because again, the show goes too fast. And tell the people one more time how they can listen and find you and connect with you.
Yes, you can reach me on my website, Christ Like Life Ministries, CLL Ministries.com. And in that website, you will be able to sign up for the mailing list so you can find out about the upcoming workshop in June. But also, you can connect to my YouTube channel. Um, and yeah, so you can learn more about me. Also, I'm on Facebook, Wynesia Jackson, but also Facebook, Christ Like Life Ministries.
Thank you so much. Until next week, be sure to tune in to the next show. Follow Empowered Living on all social media outlets. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Have a great week.